Put on cat. What, someone say something?
No, you're all right. It was just,
Oh, it was your computer? Well, geez. So we need to write new requirements for agritourism. They need to be added to the land use code, because otherwise you're just gonna continue to have battles with the planning commission and with the land use code because they don't work. So write new requirements, make them appropriate for Delta County and how we live here. The new people will have to follow those requirements. Let all the other old people just be the way they are. Thanks.
Scott Mitchell.
Scott Mitchell, 40881, Highway 133 in Paonia. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Today I'd like to talk about something that I was so happy and at the same time confused to hear at your last meeting. In a letter to the American Planning Association, you offered strong support of the town of Paonia's comprehensive plan for consideration of an award. Further, it stated that from a countywide perspective, the resulting plan is not only sound local policy, but a regional asset. The plan aligns Paonia's land use, growth management, infrastructure planning, water conservation, agricultural preservation, and hazard mitigation strategies with broader Delta County objectives. That was the part that made me extremely happy. Number one, mainly because I live just outside Paonia and this plan affects me, right? I read it and I like it too, so I completely agree with your support, 100%. Are you aware that there is a part in that comprehensive plan that places agritourism as a very important economic driver? It is a nationally recognized entrepreneurial activity that can diversify market outlets and will help support the economy for years to come in Paonia and the North Fork Valley. Matter of fact, on page 74 of that comprehensive plan, it speaks about future economies and how a key element is the approach is in this approach is to invest in agritourism. It goes on to say how data from CSU indicates that average agritourism visit results in surplus from $93 to $164 per person per trip. Additionally, it states agritourism creates economic opportunity rather than competition because agriculture producers, because an agritourism destination attracts visitors who will likely go to the next agritourism locations. It really is a very well done and thought out comprehensive plan, much like Delta County's own 2018 master plan, how it included agritourism as well. Still very happy, but here's my confusion. I find it very curious that the county's own LUC does not even acknowledge agritourism as an agricultural activity in the county. Doesn't have a way for those operations to exist. The 2018 master plan did, but not the LUC. How's that work? Information from the county itself. Agritourism is not used anywhere in Delta County land use regulations. Goes on to say agritourism could include farm festivals, outdoor recreation, wedding events, guest ranches. But if the activity involves remuneration, then they are commercial. Makes me question, what about the Delta County Fair? Are the kids who sell an animal now operating a commercial business? Is the rancher who might sell 100 bales of hay a year suddenly a commercial operation? I'm really having trouble reconciling this thing. Guest ranches are commercial? A farm festival that would be commercial if they sell some veggies from their garden? So I'll close with this. If agritourism is a regional asset worthy of a national recognition, if it is an intentional economic strategy supported by data, and if it aligns with both Paonia's comprehensive plan and Delta County's own master plan, then our land use code should reflect that reality. Right now, there's a clear disconnect between the values we publicly support and the regulations we're enforcing. I'm asking you to reconcile that disconnect, not weaken agriculture, but strengthen it by recognizing agritourism for what it is, agriculture adapting to survive. Thank you for your time, consideration, and your service to this county.
Thank you, Scott.
Lori Mitchell.
Good morning. I have my glasses to see. My name is Lori Mitchell. I live at 40881 Highway 133 in Paonia, and I'm a co-creator of Sageview Ranch. I'm here to address process, responsibility, and the county's legal footing. I've long held concerns about the planning department, and I bring just 3 minutes worth to your attention this morning. I asked Commissioner Kuntz if the planning department is bound by the land use code, as you 3 are. He confirmed that they are. I attended a recent BOA meeting, and if you haven't watched it, I urge you to. It's extremely enlightening. Under the county's 2024 Land Use Code, Chapter 13, Section 4B2, enforcement is very specific. The code compliance officer will respond to the site within 30 days of receiving a complaint and complete a field inspection to confirm or determine there is no merit to possible violations to the property. Field inspections never occurred. Actually, they never occurred at any of the targeted locations. When enforcement proceeds without the required field inspection, the county is no longer operating inside of its 2024 land use code. This creates more than just procedural issue. It creates legal vulnerability. Colorado Revised Statute 3028-120 and Delta County's 2024 Land Use Code in Chapter 11, Section 1A, 1B. It protects legal non-conforming uses and established businesses for a reason. Targeting long-standing landowners with retroactive enforcement undermines due process. It erodes public trust, and it harms our economy. Due process isn't optional. It safeguards public and the county alike. Before a planning department enforces a code, they have a duty to know the code and to follow it. When the county ignores its own rules, everyone is at risk, including the county itself. George Washington said, "The preservation of the sacred fire of liberty is staked on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people." I respectfully ask you to ensure that the enforcement actions taken by the planning department comply with the land use code you are all responsible to uphold. Your constituents are watching, and we're all counting on you. Thank you.
Jim Austin.
My name is Tim Austin. I live at 41339 Highway 133 in Paonia. We've got a very broken planning department. They have not followed the land use code rules in any way. Planning director talked extensively during the BOA hearing about equity and making sure everybody's treated exactly the same, completely ignoring the reality that Fort Austin was started and completed long before the codes were ever put into place, completely ignoring the idea of legal non-conforming, grandfathering. We're bound by every jot and tittle of the land use code, but they made up a complaint. That was the complaint form I showed you guys. There was no complaint. We did a core request a month after the so-called complaint was turned in. There was no complaint against Fort Austin. This is not decent governance. This is not the way you enforce anything. Public trust has been completely destroyed. Nobody in this county can trust our planning department. That's how simple it is. The other day, did you gentlemen receive an email from me for an appeal to the, for an appeal in front of you guys? What I'm asking is I'd like to reveal what is going on. This thing is broken. And if it's not corrected, it's going to get worse. And there's not a business in this county now that can rest assured that they can operate with the land use codes as they're written and being enforced. And that's all I'm appealing to you is we've got hours of information to show you the hypocrisy, the incompetence that we have been put through. And I will tell you too, and this concerns me more probably deeper than anything. Number one, this is a county that there's not a lot of opportunity. I have 3 college-educated married kids that cannot come back here. There's just not enough opportunity. I was trying to provide opportunity for one of my kids to come back and take this over. That's probably not going to happen. The second thing is that this idea of equity, and that's buzzword, that's a socialist buzzword for we're going to tear down those who work hard. We're going to tear down those who are creative. We're going to tear down those who are willing to take a risk. And we're going to give it to those who are not willing to work and not willing to do the right thing. The planning department I'm a little concerned about this county because the planning department is making you guys look really, really bad. And you're being blamed for this by the citizens. 2,200 petition signatures, of which over half of those are from Delta County alone, are saying they don't trust the planning department. They don't trust this system. And they're saying that to you and to us and to everybody. And we would just like to sit and work this and show you what we've been through, what's been done that's so incompetent and so unethical in their enforcement. And I would ask you to let us have a session where we can appeal to you and show you what's going on. Something needs to be done about this very soon. Thank you.
Can't read the signature, Phil or Paul? Paul?
I'm Paul Devlin. I'm also from 41339 Highway 133 in Paonia. I was an investor with Tim when we started Fort Austin. Property was purchased in 2014 with the idea of building this agritourism venue where people could come and experience agriculture in Delta County. And it seemed at the time like this was encouraged and supported. Before I get into that, though, I do want to talk briefly about the IGA. We incurred this potential liability and it was undiscoverable by the title company. And when we did go and have a meeting with CDOT, and this is something that they were upset about, the fact that whoever recorded the IGA, the agreement between Delta County and the state of Colorado, didn't record it to the point where a property purchaser would be aware that there's a potential multi-$100,000 liability to the property that we can't discover. So, I mean, I think that's fundamentally problematic. You know, I don't know who is responsible for recording the document, but that's not right. That the state of Colorado wanted these driveways moved, and it was going to be at the expense of the property owner. So that was the first point. But as we went and invested in the property, it was under the idea that we would have this agritourism concept. Most of the construction was finished by 2021. And so those would be the codes that we would fall under, not a retroactive enforcement from 2024. And so I'm a conservative, lifelong Republican, and I think, you know, my perspective on it is that a lot of this stuff should be driven by the free market, not by sort of a gotcha mentality of regulating in reverse. And so I would encourage you guys to take a strong look at that, because it doesn't look good, you know, in a county where we're over-regulating this stuff. I mean, Tim's got a rating of almost 5.0 because he knows if there's an incident on the property where someone is harmed, it's unsafe, something goes wrong, you know, the public responds now in the social media world, and that becomes a powerful governing force to keep these properties in check. We don't need an overzealous planning department issuing false complaints. I mean, this whole idea of a complaint system, where that is mostly done in the world right now is in communist China and formerly in the USSR, because it pits neighbors against neighbors. It should be an incident-based system, not a complaint system, where if somebody has a conflict with a neighbor, they're gonna start complaining to get the planning department, acting on the behalf of the neighbor. It's really, I think, a system that you guys should take a close look at, because I don't think it reflects conservative values. I understand you guys are all Republicans, and I think, the public's gonna take a look at this and say, when things are going wrong, they tend to kick out the people in power. And so I'd encourage you to take a strong look, and thanks for listening.
Chuck Churick? Did you?
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
My name is Charles Cherick. I'm not here to talk about the past, but the future. And when I was going down G Road, I noticed that the county has started mining the gravel out of their new pit, which is a good thing. But I also noticed that nobody's really looking at the side that as this is being mined out, they could start planning their affordable housing project. And I think that that land would be great for that. And you kill two birds with one stone. Do some planning, do some mining, and get ready so that in 4 or 5 years, when you're far enough along on your project, you can start putting in some curb and gutter and some oil, and be ready to offer to other builders, small builders, independent homeowners, a place where they could build an affordable house. And I just wanted to bring that forward because I always forget about it. We all do good jobs, we all do bad jobs. Sometimes I'm on the top, sometimes on the bottom, I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate your time, and maybe you could get together when you have a meeting and bring it to everybody's awareness. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Bruce Tyking?
Yeah, I'm just here to answer any questions regarding the last agenda item, the airport lease.
Oh, okay, thank you. Anybody on the computer, Lindsay?
No, sir.
Okay. Constituent time is completed. Now we'll go to County Clerk Terry Stevenson.
Good morning, Commissioner. This morning I have for your consideration the minutes for the January 20th, 2026 BOCC regular meeting. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes?
I have none.
No, good job.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to have my recording supervisor, Tina Daniel, step over to the microphone and give you an update on our new recording management system that we implemented last Monday.
Thank you.
Last Monday, yes. So we've been in live all weekend.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tina Daniel, Recording Supervisor in the Clerk and Recorder's Office. We have been working, this has been a long project we've been working on. We went live on a new recording management system for the Clerk and Recorder's Office for the county last Monday. It's going really well. We started with this over a year ago, where we started with demos with different companies. We were having a lot of issues with the previous system we were on. Complaints with our web service was going down, not loading our images, with having issues with our title companies, different things, not getting the upgrades we were supposed to do with our previous system. And so we did apply there was grant money out from the state, and we received a full grant of $145,735 to get this recording system. So we didn't have any of the taxpayer money for that. We get a full grant from the state to implement the system. It went really well. We started and signed the contract back in November of 2024 and took the year of conversion of all of our data and images and of the testing that we did. And then we did just go live, like we said, January 26th. We've had a lot of positive feedback from our title companies. loving the new system. And one of the things that I'm really happy and proud of that we have with the new system is it has a fraud alert for our citizens. So a free fraud alert where they can go on the website and register. It's been, a lot of the citizens have been coming in last year, very concerned about property fraud that's been happening lately. So they can go right on the website and register for fraud alert. They can do variations of their name, and anything that's ever recorded in their name, they would get an email on that something has been recorded under their name. So completely free for the citizens to do that. Included in the grant was also 2 years of our maintenance fees. That was included in that grant that's also been paid for that. Very proud of this that we've gone, and it's gone really well, and had a lot of positive feedback on it, so.
I'd like to take just a moment and recognize Tina. She showed exceptional initiative, taking ownership of the conversion of this new recording management system from the beginning to its completion. I'm truly grateful for her knowledge, experience, her ability to perform complex tasks, attention to detail, and the countless hours of testing that was crucial to meeting the deadline. She did a fantastic job fostering collaboration, not only with the vendor, but with all the agents, county departments that use our recording system to ensure a smooth transition. Tina's work on the project resulted in ensuring that Delta County received the highest quality product that will enhance the recording department's ability to serve our public with more efficiency. Her hard work and dedication has truly paid off, and I would like to congratulate her on her success.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did an amazing job. It was hours and hours
Yes.
of programming. So you did a great job. Very proud of her.
Tina, well done. And using that grant money made a big difference to our citizens. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
How do we get the notification out to everybody about the fraud alert? How hard is that to get signed up?
It's
Not
yeah,
everybody has computers.
Yeah, correct. They can come also in our office to do that. I have public terminals right in my office, and I can walk them right through it. I have the module right there to do that, to sit down with them and be happy to walk anybody through to get that signed up as well. And then also just right on the Delta County website. If they just go right on there, it's linked to our website for the record search on the clerk and recorder site. And then we're hoping to get, now that we've gone live, we want to make sure everything was a smooth transition. So we're planning to get a PSA out. Some outreach programs get done and start getting that outreach to the public as well.
What kinds of things would trigger the fraud alert to become active? And what are they actually looking for?
It's in indexing. So anything that gets recorded in their name. So when we get a document in to be recorded, we're indexing the name on that document. So deeds, the grantor, grantee names on it, anything in the name. So that way when a citizen signs up, so perfect example will be myself. So my name is Christina, but I go by Tina. So they can do any variation of their name that there might be in there. So they can sign up for Christina, Tina, Chris, whatever it may be. And anything that gets indexed in that name, they would get an automatic email notification of something that has been recorded in their name. So it's automatic. So very early detection of something that's been recorded.
Well, thank you very much for your hard work and for your report. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Nice to get some positive feedback from your constituents that are using that,
Yes.
knowing that it was really helpful. And like I said, the fraud alert is very, very informative also to keep everybody safe.
Yes,
in their minds.
yes. Yeah, we're very happy with it.
One thing, when you apply for your social security and you go by Tina, but your real name's Christina.
Mhm.
My first name is Ronnie. I've been known as Mike for 72 years. You cannot apply for your social security under Mike Lang. It just does not work. You gotta use your real flipping name.
Correct, correct.
Yep. Yep. Dad's name was Donnie, so they went with Ronnie, but they called me Mike. Some interesting phone calls there, and you do not want to miss those phone calls.
We had fun and get on to the treasury.
getting to.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Tina.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tina.
Thank you.
Now we'll go to Commissioner Business, County Treasurer Lisa Tafoya. Presentation of the semi-annual report. Always nice to see you.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. This morning, I'd like to present the semi-annual report, which summarizes financial activity from July 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. The first thing I'd like to point out is a variation in the starting balances on two of our funds. We did have a correction of $87,967 that affected the general fund 0010. The starting balance on that, the ending balance on that for the June 30th report was $4,585,839.01. This adjustment changes that balance and increases it to $4,673,806.01. The other fund that was affected was 0140 for the Conservation Trust. You see on this report, it's reflected as 529,759.09 on the report that was published for the June 30th. Semi-annual ending balance was the 441,792.09. Other than that, all beginning balances for July 1st correspond with the ending balances on June 30th. The other items I'd like to bring to your attention is Fund 0275. This is our health department where our federal funds come in. We hold those separately all year long, and then at the end of the year, we transfer those over to the health department. That transfer amount was $134,175.43. And the reason we do that is because of federal funds we can't impose a fee on processing anything that comes from federal dollars. The ending balance is reflected on Fund 0330 through 0850. Are balances that were dispersed to the taxing authorities on January 10th, 2026. So that's a fluctuating balance for our monthly taxing authorities.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Lisa, I'm always impressed at how detailed and accurate your statements are. You indicated a change in the beginning fund balance for 0010, but what was the change there?
That was an annual payment to the library district that was charged to the Conservation Trust account in error.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yep, appreciate it. You can stay for the rest of the meeting if you want to.
I got to do. Tax bills went out.
Okay. Thank you. Next up, board's consideration and possible award of a final bid tally for 2026 RFP 04, the motor grader. And Scott, I guess we'll turn it over to you.
Yes, we had 3 bids for the motor grader. First one was Four Rivers Equipment. Their bid, they had 2 different bids, 2 different machines. 670G here, 670 here. The 670G was $295. The P was $317,500, and they were going to give us a trade-in value of $55,000 for our blade, which would bring them to $240,000 and $262,500. Bidder number 2 was Power Motive Corporation for a 2026 Komatsu. The price was $329,906. They were going to give us a trade-in value of $62,950 for a total of $266,956. The next one, bidder number 3 was Wagner Equipment Company for a 2026 Caterpillar 140. The price was $310,910, and they were going to give us a trade-in value of $85,000, which brought the machine to $225,910. So my recommendation is to go with Wagner Cat machine.
On the bidder number 3, Wagner Equipment, on question 6, it says how soon can the motor grader be delivered? There's a blank spot there. Do they have any kind of a indication as when they can deliver it?
The reason he left that blank was because I called him on this, because we had no answer, was there may be a machine available out right now. So if we do go with that bid, then it can be locked in. And if they order another one, it takes about 4 weeks.
Is there any substantial differences between the 4 different pieces of equipment bid here? The John Deere, the Komatsu, and the Cat?
Well, I always like Caterpillar because the parts are readily available. And we also have software which was released by Cat that we can buy into. So we can do a lot of our own repairs. We can go into the computer system and our mechanics can fix it. So it saves us a lot of money looking on them ourselves.
But equipment wise,
They're
are they
they're
essentially
all
about the same piece?
size? Yes,
with all the same accessories to
yes,
it, ripper shanks? And
yes. And we asked for a lever machine because we did not want a joystick machine. So I believe one of the John Deere's is a joystick machine.
And we don't like joysticks?
No.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna get a young kid to operate this thing?
That's right.
Was the Bomag a joystick?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
The Bulldog was just a solid joy all the way around.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a recommendation that we accept bidder number 3, Wagner.
Motion?
Excuse me, did I say recommendation? I make a motion that we accept the recommendation from the building and ground Public Works Department for bidder number 3 for Wagner Equipment Company, Caterpillar 540 lever machine in the amount of $310,910, trading value of $85 for a total price of $225,910.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So done. Thank you. Next up, we have the mini excavator.
This is 2026 RFP 05. We had 11 bidders to the machine. One was 4 Rivers Equipment. It's for a 2026 John Deere 60P. Price was $109,750. Bidder number 2 was Almac Mix Inc. for $97,046.86. Bidder number 3 was Arnold Machinery Company for 2025 Hitachi machine. So the price was $88,900. Bidder number 4 was Bobcat of the Rockies for a 2026 E60 Bobcat for $91,500. Bidder number 5 was Century Equipment for a 2025 Case CX60D for $104,768.80. Bidder number 6 was One Nation Distribution LLC for $162,989. Wow. Bidder number 7 was Power Equipment Company for a 2026 Volvo E6 65F for $92,942. Bidder number 8 was Power Motive Corporation for a 2025 Takaguchi for $99,807.29. Bidder number 9 was US Tractor and Harvest Inc. for a 2026 John Deere 60P for $103,935.89. Bidder number 10 was Wagner Equipment Company for a 2026 E06. $92,763. Bidder number 11 was Young Commercial for a 2025 New Holland E70D for $103,881. And again, my recommendation would be for Wagner equipment.
Where is the Takeuchi made? I've never heard of that
I
brand.
have no idea. I think it's
I thought it was, no, I'm just kidding. I don't- Takeuchi, that's what I'd suspicion.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That Cat 306, is that what was kind of spec'd out there? Is that going to meet the demands
Yes,
this machine's going to be put under?
yes, it was.
I see no trade-in value, so this must be a new
We,
machine.
we're not trading in. We have another smaller machine. It's quite a bit smaller. It's pretty worn out, but, I'm gonna keep that around for like at the fairgrounds, that kind of thing. We can use it around here as well. So, I mean, there's not much of a trade-in value on it, so that's why I decided to keep it.
You're not recommending to do the $162,000 machine from Pennsylvania, I noticed.
No thank you. That's way out of our budget, what we budgeted for.
What was our budget on this Mini X?
In the main one of that. Budgeted, I think, right, a little less than 100,000, I believe.
95, now that I think about it.
Okay.
I have recent memories of machines that were incapable of performing what we asked them to perform, and your recommendation to stick with the Caterpillar brand for obvious parts availabilities, availability of our mechanics to work on the machine. I presume that's true with this one as well. I will make a motion that we go with bidder number 10, Wagner Equipment Company, for the 2026 Caterpillar 306 in the amount of $92,763.00.
I will
The machine is in stock, so.
second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Next up, board's consideration of possible award of final bid tally 2025 RFP 20 engineering design services for 2 drainage crossings. And Tim McCracken,
Good morning, Commissioners.
morning.
Before you for consideration to award a contract or for 2 drainage crossings, RFP 2025, RFP 20. There were 5 bids. Bidder number 1 is 3 Rocks Engineering and Surveying out of Cannon City. Their bid was $77,000. Anticipated completion date would be June 30th, 2026. Bidder number 2 is Bowman Consulting Groups out of Paonia. Bid amount is $58,685,000. Anticipated completion date, 6/12/2026. Bidder number 3 is Buckhorn Engineering out of Montrose. Grand total and fees, $123,757,000 with the note that it's $142,726,000 with construction staking. Anticipated completion of design services would be September 30th, 2026. Bidder number 4 is Roaring Fork Engineering out of Carbondale, Colorado. Grand total fee is $87,680,000. Anticipated completion date is April 30th, 2026. Bidder number 5 is SGM out of Glenwood Springs. Grand total for design services is $93,184. I don't have the anticipated completion date listed, but it was within the range. Buckhorn was the latest in the year for all these design services, so it was before, it's before September. My recommendation would be for Roaring Fork Engineering for $87,680 out of Carbondale, Colorado. They did not bid for geotech, which is not a big issue. The other bids, 3 Rocks did not do geotech bid. Bauman did. Bauman is currently working on a project for us right now and they're behind schedule, so I don't want to recommend them. They are the lowest bidder, but they are behind on a smaller project they're working for us. Buckhorn is, they met all the requirements in the RFP. They did provide more engineering hours to the project, but they are way more expensive than the others. So my recommendation would be for Roaring Fork Engineering out of Carbondale for $87,680.
When you say they're behind right now on it, as far as Bowman goes, for a project they're working on, how far behind are they?
The project was supposed to be, it was a preliminary design for the 1800 road with a cost estimate. It was supposed to be completed in December. So we're 2 months behind, essentially.
This one's got a anticipated completion of 6/12. What is your anticipated construction on this?
The earliest we would do any construction would be 2026, but I think we're scheduled to do it in 2027 that's correct, right, Scott?
Great. I'm a little bit confused perhaps as to why we not go with a more local guy that's already working on our project for less money for a project that's not going to be probably completed until 2027. Is there a time crunch there that's going to kill us on this, or?
Not necessarily.
We just anticipate being delayed.
Yeah, but that'd be 9 months to a year delay. I think you could manage that, could you not?
Yeah, we can manage that.
Is there any other real difference between these engineering bids? 58,000 is, that's 18,000 less than the next nearest bid. Is the quality of the work
No,
comparable?
Bowman, Jeff was part of Odyssey who did the boat ramp at a G Road. They've also done other projects. I don't know. That's the only one I've been involved with him on besides the 1800 road. So, but if you're not concerned about time frame, then we can go with Bauman.
Quality of the work is comparable so that when we're ready to start, we're not dinking around with it.
Maintain a good level of communication with them and make sure that they understand that we can work with them within a certain time frame, but we can't let it drag out forever because we do have a target date for construction in 7. So just keep it tight.
Yeah. We are ahead of schedule right now, so on getting an RFP out and stuff, so.
The fact that they're local, and the fact that they are the lowest bidder, and looks like we're comparing apples to apples here, other than times.
Right.
I guess my recommendation would be to stick with bid number 2.
John? Fair?
So just a thought, and I would have to look into this more, and maybe Tim is more familiar with it in this particular concept or this situation. I want to caution a little bit about local preference when we're talking about federal money. And so you all, the board has spoken about other things such as the time frame is not as important, quality of work, people we've worked with before. Commissioner Fuller, you made a couple of comments about this is a local company versus, and I would have to look into that more deeply. But I believe there are some restrictions in local preference when we're talking about federal money. And I don't know if this is federal money involved.
There's no grant money or federal money involved at this point that I know of.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we didn't have, get into some of that. So that's something that we always have to be aware of.
Okay. Thank you for bringing that up.
Tim, is there anything else in these bids that we're missing here?
No, they were all pretty good bids. Like I said, Buckhorn was most complete bid, but they were also the most expensive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm going to make a motion for 2025 RFP 20 engineering design for 2 drainage crossings to be awarded the Bowman Consulting Group in the amount of $58,685 with a special emphasis on completion of work in a timely manner.
Thank you.
I will second that motion.
A motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, so done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay, next up, we have board's consideration of a DOLA Rural Economic Development Initiative grant in support of the Technology of the Rockies application for $75,000 for new training equipment. We have a representative from TCR, Mr. Randall Palmer, and Matt, our grant guy.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for your time. So the DOLA grant comes an annual opportunity for us to look at capital, which is something that we don't really have a lot of access to given our state statute. One of the situations that we find ourselves in is the way in which we have launched our diagnostic medical sonographer program. Most people understand that as ultrasound. And in doing so, we procured used machines. They're not bad, but I'm paying more in my maintenance than what the actual machines are worth. The other side is that in this environment, you're always looking for better, more useful technology. And in this situation, we'd love to upgrade those 3 machines to something that is more of an industry standard. One of the things that we have found is that you rely heavily on the quality of the machines providing the readout. And if we don't train on industry standard equipment, then it's a little bit of a less than. So we are looking to replace up to 3 machines based upon the used market, because new machines are close to unaffordable. But in the situation that we're looking at, we do have providers that take trade-ins from other university hospitals. And in doing so, we can take an upgraded used machine in order for our students to learn on more industry relevant imaging processes. In addition, we were looking for simulators, and we will take care of that piece. That will be our contribution, along with the professional development in order to manipulate those simulators. And those simulators are utilized for the pelvic reason because it's an OB-GYN simulation format. So what else can I answer for you?
Mr. Palmer, I understand that Technical College of the Rockies is the only certified ultrasound training facility in Western Colorado.
CAHEP is the national accrediting body. We're the only institution of higher education that accredit from CAHEP that offers this training. So it's about 3,300 sonographers that are accredited throughout the state. Those did not receive their accreditation in state. There's another one that does that, and that is CE Anschutz, and they take about 6 students a year. They are also CAHEP accredited, but they are a university hospital training environment. So as you can imagine, there's a need. In the report, you might understand that when you're looking at a 13% need between now and 2030, that's an increase of our current need. That's twice of what an RN need is based upon. And the reason I bring that up is that you need to have some point of reference. So what I'm sharing with you is that sonography is more than twice the need of RNs. There are 10 hospitals that we partnered with. There is another institution of higher education that's looking at getting into this, but it took us about 2 years in order to receive that CAHEP accreditation. It's a very lengthy, it's a very robust accreditation, but in doing so, that puts us on the map. Our students have already gone through the first wave of the ARDMS. That is the American Registry of Diagnostic Medical Sonography test. That's about a 43% pass rate. Our students have passed at an 88.8% pass rate. Wow. So our students are receiving instruction not just sorta, not just maybe, is the classroom and the lab are combined. So why are we receiving instruction? If they have question, then we get up and we walk 6 feet to the machine and we begin utilizing the machine day one. And that was a little bit of the issue from last year's. We were not able to procure the machines quick enough based upon when we were gonna reward last year's, which was really 2 years ago. I'm looking at the rotation when we applied for the last DOLA grant. So now those machines are already 2 years older than however old they were when we first got them. So this particular industry is the highest return on investment. Takes about 16,000 for a student to go through this. They're gonna make closer to 75,000 once they're certified. We desperately need these kinds of trainings in our own community. A lot of our community is relying on travelers, meaning that they come from somewhere else out of state. They usually sign up for about 3 months and then they go back. We're focused on keeping students here that want to remain here, that want to contribute here, that grew up here, and train them for this high need, high wage environment. Most of them have already been placed and they have not finished their testing quite yet. So they are in the middle of pre-employment contracts. We've already opened up this year's cohort and we can fill it right now. We'll have a waiting list, but the trick is because of the intensity of this kind of instruction, we can only produce a cohort every 2 years.
How long is this course?
So it's 2 years, half a day.
Oh, because I'm term limited, I'm looking.
Good job.
You and Mrs. Lane are looking at ultrasound.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So it's a very robust application
Oh.
and it's a strong waiting list.
So your ask of the board is a letter of consideration or?
Don't need a letter of recommendation. We need board approval to apply to DOLA because it's passed through to TCR.
Okay.
I'll make this one.
Go right
Happy
ahead.
to. I will make a motion that the board approve an application to Department of Local Affairs Rural Economic Development Initiative grant in support of the TCR, College of the Rockies, application for $75,000 in new ultrasound training equipment.
I will second that motion.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, so done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Randall,
Appreciate
thank
the
you for all
support.
the hard work you're putting into the TCR and those kids out there.
We have a great staff.
I'm very,
Yeah.
we're very proud of the things
We are
going
too.
on.
Thank you for that. I'll pass that on.
So,
You bet. Thank you.
and Matt, thanks for your work on this too.
Yes. Next up is board's consideration of the reappointment of Todd Queen for District 1 to the Planning Commission and the appointment of Anthony Tony Mounts from District 3 to a regular voting member of the Planning Commission, formerly an associate member of the Planning Commission. And we have Sean Goddender from the Planning Commission. Thank you.
You're welcome. I won't repeat what Commissioner Lane already said, but I'm just here for these reappointments and appointments. So the reappointment of Todd Queen, District 1, the appointment of Tony Motts from an associate to a voting member in District 3.
What is their terms then?
3 years from this time. Yeah. Todd was originally appointed in 23, and so his 3-year term is up this year. And Tony was originally appointed in 24, so his term actually will be up in 2027, and then he would be eligible for a reappointment at that time.
So you have an opening on the regular voting member of District 3 then? Is that what you're
Yes.
filling?
Yes.
Okay.
We had a member of District 3 that whose term was up, and he's left the Planning Commission.
I will make a motion that we consider the reappointment of Todd Queen from District 1 to the Planning Commission and the appointment of Tony Motts from District 3 from an associate to a regular voting member of the Planning Commission.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank them for serving on the board. It's hard to find people volunteering for these volunteer boards.
I will pass that on.
Thank you. Next up, Lindsay Mitchell with our Board of County Commissioners monthly calendar.
Today, after this, there's a February 5th at 8 a.m. There's a Voices of Rural Colorado. February 5th at 8:30, there's an agency legislative call. February 10th at 9 a.m. is an annual jail tour. February 10th at 10:30 a.m. is a Board of County Commissioners work session, the WUI Code with Planning Department. February 10th at 1 p.m. is a BOCC work session with a SNAP with Human Services. February 11th at 10 a.m. is CEU Wednesday. February 12th at 1 p.m. is the Human Services Retirement Celebration.
What was that?
1 p.m. February 12th. February 16th, the government offices are closed for President's Day. February 17th is our next Board of County Commissioners meeting. February 17th at 1:30 is the work session for Road and Bridge. February 17th at 3:30 is a Board of Health meeting. February 18th at 7:30 a.m. is Coffee with a Commish.
Who's that for?
That's Wendell and Pam. February 18th at 10 a.m. is a Board of County Commissioners work session, environmental health, water. February 19th at 10 a.m. is a Gateway Community meeting.
To that one.
Was that again? February
18th.
February 19th at 10 a.m. is a Gateway Community meeting.
That's the National Park Service. Duncan County is considered a gateway community because of the Black Canyon National Park.
Oh,
Where's that meeting at?
Montrose is, it must be at the Black Canyon Visitor Center, the South Rim Visitor Center, 10 o'clock in Montrose.
I'll go to that.
Okay,
Send me a, what do you call it?
invite.
Invite, thank you. I'll write it down there.
February 26th at 8:30 is an agency legislative call. What I have to February.
Can we go back to, what was there tomorrow, Lindsay? I thought I heard something tomorrow.
The 4th? No.
I have a Voices of Rural Colorado. Fed.
That's in Denver. That's a gathering and a meeting with state legislatures. I'll be attending that along with CCI Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Lindsay.
My pleasure.
Okay. Okay. Next up is County Attorney John Baer. Has a couple items for the board.
Just one this morning, single item that is, the board's consideration of use of facilities and premises agreement with Lakefield Airport. This is in regard to the county snow removal equipment building number 298. And the agreement is with the Experimental Aircraft Association 1373 X. This is a document that you have in your packet, and I have the original, I guess it is original, they get it. Here, it's been signed by Mr. Walton, in accordance with, the EAA. This is a document that went quite a bit of discussion. Paula and with Scott and him and Robbie and that sort of thing. So anyway, happy to answer any questions.
Okay, and Bruce?
Yeah.
You're here.
Our president, Ted Waltman, who signed the document, he was unable to attend today. Thank you.
Red light means it's on.
Due to a family medical issue, so he asked me to attend. So I'm on the board. I can hopefully answer any questions you might have.
For the record, could you give us your name and where?
I'm Bruce Teaking with the Experimental Aircraft Association, our local chapter.
Thank you.
Explain experimental aircraft.
Yeah, it's a confusing term. It is a classification of how FAA regulates some aircraft. It's not as if we're doing science projects, it's just how the registrations are done with the FAA. And its purpose is to promote aviation. And one of our main activities is to encourage other people to become involved in aviation, especially some of the local youth that have an interest.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds like this has been fully vetted by Commissioner Fuller and County Attorney John Baer and engineering also. So I don't have any questions on this one.
I think everybody's on board with this now. We've got everything hammered out, so. There's a few items, but we're there, so. I will, if there's no further discussion, I will make a motion that the board enter into a conditional use of facilities and premises agreement at the Blakefield Airport in the county snow removal building number 298 with the Experimental Aircraft Association, chapter 1373X.
And authorize the chair.
And authorize the chair to sign.
Thank you.
I'll get that down one of these days, John, don't you worry.
And I'll second that one.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. So done. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Keep those kids.
Thank you,
alive.
Bruce. Yeah.
That's all I have for today. Thank you.
Okay. That completes the agenda. We'll consider ourselves adjourned. Everybody drive safe. Thank you.